Miss Christine is here. We're gonna do another Zentangle video. So for Zentangle, it's just drawing. So you need a pencil, a marker, that is fine tip, and you need cardstock. If you do not have cardstock, you can use plain paper. Just be careful because markers do go through plain paper much easier. So put something down underneath your paper so that the pen does not go through the paper onto something important. All right, so we're going to start with one of the to start the Zentangle, you're going to want to make a box. So you put 4 points. Normally I would give you a little piece that's already cut out, but since we're doing this over a video, I'm going to show you. So you're going to make a box. You can make it as big or small as you want, but please leave the bottom of your paper for the end result. So there's my box. So the first tangle I'm going to show you is bales. So this is what bales looks like. See, bales. This is Zentangle book, different from the other ones, the other one that I showed you. But again, it just has different patterns in it. This one has a little bit more fun stuff like shapes, coloring in shapes. But I'm not going to show that to you yet. I'm still just showing you patterns and how to do them. So the first thing that you're going to do is draw lines for bales. They don't have to be straight, so I'm going to make mine a little bit curved. So take your pen, now that you've made your box, and make lines down. So I try to space mine out, so if you need to use a what's it called, ruler to space your lines out, do it. I don't like to use a ruler, so I'm not going to. That's what my curved lines look like. And then I'm going to curve my lines that go across. So I'm going to do this, 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 this. All right. So the top one wasn't perfectly spaced. You can tell I made the box a little bit small. That's fine. So now that you have all your boxes, now you're gonna start what makes the bales bales. A lot of tangles use the box, so you'll get used to doing it. So you're gonna take one of your lines. So I'm gonna take the top one. Oops. I'm gonna take this one right here, and I'm gonna make a like a bubble or a half moon from one corner to the other corner. So that's what it's going to look like. And then I'm going to bubble the same thing on the bottom. So it looks like a seed or something like that. And then I'm going to do that on each of the lines that I have. So the ones that go off the paper, you can pretend like you can imagine where it would go. And then we're going to do all the vertical ones. So all the horizontal ones, I'm sorry. All the ones that go to the sides. So we're going to do all those first. So let's do all the horizontal ones. So depending on how far away your boxes are spaced is how big your seeds look. So that's what mine look like right now. So now I'm going to turn my paper and do the vertical ones. So the ones that went up and down, I'm going to turn my paper so that I'm doing them horizontal. So, if you can do really good seeds without turning the paper, good for you. I am not good like that. I like turning the paper, plus a lot of other tangles. I end up turning my paper to make them look the way I want to look. So I'm used to turning my paper. So I'm going to show you what it looks like now that I've started the vertical ones. So that is what bales looks like. So I'm going to continue making my bales. The good thing about the video is you can stop it and rewind it. If I go too fast, if you miss something, if you're not sure, you can pause me, whatever you need to do. And yours should probably not come out looking exactly like mine, because none of them ever really do. So at the end, that's my bales. I don't like leaving the whole space in the middle, so sometimes I add like a fun little box, but this time I'm just going to put a dot in the middle of each of my bales. It's just something, so it's not so much plain space. Some of mine are not going to have them because you wouldn't be able to see them. And that's what it ends up looking like. And again, that's bales, so I'm going to spell that for you. B-A-L-E-S. Bales. Alright, so the second one I'm going to show you is coral seeds. I'm not going to make it with seeds though. I am going to make it like it's seagrass and something in between. So I'm going to show you. So this is coral seeds. See how they made the seeds? But I'm not going to make the seeds. If you would like to, you can certainly add the circles. I'm going to do this one because I like that effect. Alright, so we're going to do, close your marker, get your pencil, draw your box. Like I said, this one's called Coral Seeds. So C-O-R-A-L seeds. Just like that. Alright. So I do coral seeds from the corner. If you're good at imagining it from the middle, you can do yours in the middle, but I'm going to do mine from the corner. So you start off with like snakes or a piece of grass. So I'm going to start with a line up and a line down. So that's what mine looks like. And then I'm going to make another one. Start off from the same spot. That's what it looks like. And you're going to start off from the same spot again. So that's my third one, and I'm going to make one more. So So that is my 4 blades of grass or pieces of seaweed, or however you want to do it. Yours may come out better than mine, whatever. So now I'm going to add the lines in between. So I'm going to start with the first set that I did. I'm going to put lines in between, and I'm going to curve them up. So I'll show you what it's going to end up looking like mini smiles all the way up. So that's what my first one looks like. And then my second one, I'm going to do the same thing. I kind of turned my paper so that they all look similar, but not the same. And maybe have a little bit different turn to them. Yeah, see, that's my second one. And then my last one. So this one is much smaller. And you can also fill it to the ends of the paper if you want, but that's how I'm going to leave it. And that's coral seeds. You can color them in, you can do whatever you want, but I'm going to leave it that way for now. I'm just going to do black and white. And then the last one we're going to do is crescent moon. So I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to make my box again. So 4 points. Make my box. That's what my box looks like. And then I'm going to do crescent moon. So I like the way this one looks. They have fun variations of this. But that is crescent moon. So I'm going to write crescent moon above it. So CRESCENTMOON. Would be nice if the M was finished. Crescent moon. So then I'm gonna, so you start off with half circles. So you make half circles evenly spaced around the outside of your box. So make half circles and then evenly space them. So there's 3, and do it all around the outside. I'm going to put 3 on each side, and I am going to turn my paper as I make them. And I'll show you what I did as soon as I'm done. So those are my crescent moons. So I color in all of those. So you can put dots if you don't want to color them in now, but I'm going to color them in. You can color them in after you're done, the whole thing. Depends on how you feel. I'm going to color them in. This is an easy space filler depending on what shape you're trying to fill in when you do bigger patterns for Zentangle. Okay. And like I said, Zentangle is repetition, it's pattern, so it's doing the same thing over and over. and then seeing what the end result looks like once you've done the pattern over and over. It's pretty easy. It's fun. Sometimes I enjoy doing the same thing over and over, and sometimes I don't. So like I said, if you don't want to color them all in, or it just seems like it's taking too long, just stop. You don't have to do them all. You can always go back and color them in at the end. So I'm just going to show you what mine look like now that I've colored them all in. Ooh. That's it. So now, I know I've said Aurora a few times, but it's just doing that same arc that we did to make our half circles. So I'm going to arc the first one I did, then I'm going to arc the second one, and the third one. I'm going to do that all the way around. Make arcs around all of the ones that we made. So I am going to turn my paper so I do arc it the same and not slightly slanted because it's at a different place. Don't make the arcs too far from your crescent moons because they'll run into the other ones. So that is what they look like. And now we're just going to make another arc just around those. So I'm going to make a second arc, and a second arc, second arc. So that is what it looks like. Now it's 2. You're just auroraing the first aurora that you did. Alright, just keep going. And when you start seeing some of them come really close to each other, like my second row, they're close to touching. That's fine, because I'll show you what's going to happen. So I'm going to continue the top ones. The bottom ones. Oh, that was not a good aurora. Alright. But I'll show you when you make a mistake, and again, in Zentangle there aren't really mistakes, but when it doesn't come out like you were hoping it did, once the whole shape comes out, you won't even see it. See? So the next one, they're all pretty much going to touch now. So I'm going to make the third one where they're all kind of touching. So I'll show you what I mean. So the last one is going to be up and over, up and over, up and over. So that is how the bottom ones look. See how they're all touching. And then I'm just going to do that again over here. And that one's going to touch the outside of that one. And that's going to go right to the middle of that one. And that's going to touch that one. And that's going to go right to the middle. Touch that one. Touch that one. Flip the paper. Touch that one. Touch that. And right in the middle. Okay, so now you can see that they're all touching. So now there's a big space in the middle. So in the middle, you're going to do similar similar arcs, except it's just going to be in the middle. So I'm going to show you what I mean. So I'm going to start, I'm going to turn my paper and do the bottom. So I'm going to start at the corner and go like this to the dip. And then Aurora, and then Aurora. So that is what my middle line looks like. So it's just in the middle and never touches the edge of the paper. So then when I turn my paper, I'm gonna Aurora that one, and that one, and that one. So that's what it looks like when I did that. And then I'm gonna do the well, now the bottom, but it was the top. And that's what it looks like. And then turn the paper and do the last side. And then make sure it touches where you started. And then I'm just gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna start at the bottom and I'm gonna Aurora what I just did. So I'm gonna do that, and that, and that. And you just keep doing that until you get to the middle. So I'm going to do this real quick. And then when I get to the middle, I'll show you how I make it. So see, that's how I did it. So then I'm going to Aurora those. Alright, so I'm just flipping, just keep turning my paper so I can do the auroras as evenly as possible. When it gets to the point where you can't really make the shape that I made previously, then I just make a point. So it's not a big deal when you can't make those weird corners anymore. So see, my shape keeps changing. It almost looks like a cool spider web. I'm gonna do it a few more times.
Okay, that sounds good.
So that is what mine looks like. I'm not going to put anything in the middle of that. I'm just going to leave it just like that. So those are the 3 different kinds of tangles that I'm going to show you. And now we're going to put them in one box. So I'm going to draw a big box at the bottom. It's 4 points. So there's my 4 points, bigger box. So because I'm doing my coral seeds, I need to make sure that my crescent moons and my veils don't really interfere with where I'm putting my coral seeds. So my shape is going to be so that my coral seeds fit well. So I'm just going to make like an arc, and then I'm going to make like a line. So this is where my, if you can see it, this is where my coral seeds are going to go, and then I know my other two shapes are going to go up here. So because I made room for the coral seeds, that's what I'm going to start with. You can start with bales if you would like to, but I'm going to start with coral seeds just so that I can get that done since I made specific space for it. So I'm going to start at the corner and make my shape, my snake shape. I don't know why sometimes my mouth does not agree with me. So that is what my coral seeds looks like on that. And then, like I said, I'm going to put in my half circles. So I think that came out alright. I'm going to continue doing that on the other two. You can make them much closer. You can make them further apart. You can make them any way you want. You can put dots in between. You can put anything you want, however you want it. So I am pretending that outside of this shape there's more so that's my coral seeds. So now I'm gonna add my bales in, so I have to make my boxes. So I think I'm gonna use the top for my boxes because that looks a little bit easier for me to do. So I'm gonna make mine a little bit straighter than they were when we did them over there, but I'm gonna curve this line. I'm gonna curve this line. Okay, so that's how I did my bales. It's gonna be a lot bigger. And then, like I said, you're gonna start with the horizontal ones, and you can put the big seeds from one side to the other. So they look like that. Usually my top seeds are bigger than my bottom seeds, but sometimes I get them right. And then so that's my horizontal ones, and now I'm going to do the vertical ones. So I'm going to turn them so they're horizontal for me and make them the seeds. And like I said, you've got to imagine that they're going off the paper if you do not have that last corner to go to. Imagine where that next line would go, and then draw your seed. So that is what my bales looks like. So in between each of those boxes, I'm just going to put that dot. So that is what my bales ends up looking like. And then the last one we're going to put in is the crescent moon. So all around this shape, I need to put my half circles so that they're all around the edge. So they're obviously not going to be equal because you can only fit 2 at the bottom. I can fit a whole bunch along this line. line. So you always have to be aware of your spacing so that when you do your auroras, they don't run into each other, because that definitely doesn't help you. All right, so that's all my crescents, and I'm gonna color those in. Just keep coloring them in. Alright, so I think that's all I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna now aurora around them like I did when we did the tangle up above. So aurora once. Try to make sure that you leave a little bit of room between each. So that's what they look like so far. And then the ones I didn't color in, I'm just going to draw lines at the bottom of them so I can tell where I need to color in. Especially since there's no real line there. It's only that light pencil line that I have. So now I'm going to make it a dark line underneath each of my crescents. So I can color it. Ooh, that one's what I touched. Okay, so I did one, and now I'm going to keep going around all of them. Again, I think this one's only going to take 2 before it's already touching because it's such a tight shape. The bigger the space, the more auroras you can do. The smaller the space, the less. So it's fine if they all touch already. I'm just going to make mine all go from there. I think it looks fine. Alright, so all of mine are now touching. So now I'm going to aurora the middle. I'm going to start at the bottom where there's just the 2 shapes. That makes it really easy. And turn the paper. You'll be able to see how you changed each of your auroras. So that's what the inside of mine looks like. And then we're going to start again. If I don't turn my paper, that's not going to be right. Because I cannot follow that aurora. I'm going to show you real quick when it closes in and closes your root, that is what I end up doing. And that's it. So with bales, coral seeds, and crescent moon, that's your end. Yours will look different than mine, but that's how you make it. And you're going to continue coloring them all in, and that's it. So I really hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope that you have watched the other videos. If you haven't, check them out, and I will be posting more. Have a good day.